guys, my name is Kirsty and welcome to another video. Today I am going to be doing my April wrap up, even though at the time of filming it is the 18th of May and it's nearly time for me to do my May wrap up. I am doing this late because I have had a lot going on in the past month. I have had loads of university assessments to do and I've handed all those in now. So I finished my second year of university and there's just been some personal things going on that I had to sort out. Yeah, we're doing this now, April wrap up. So without any further ado, let's just get into it, shall we? So the first book, or graphic novel should I say, that I read in April was The Damned Volume 2 by Cullen Bunn. This graphic novel series follows mobsters, but the mobsters are like demons, and we have this main character who can come back from the dead and he serves the mobsters and it's just his story. And I read volume 1 in March, read volume 2 at the beginning of April, and so far it's quite an average graphic novel series. I think I gave the first and the second one 3 out of 5 stars. To be honest, I am looking forward to volume 3 because I want to learn more about the world of demons and more about the mob life, I guess. I don't really know what else to call it. The artwork in this graphic novel is absolutely amazing. It's dark and grisly and there's just splashes of red everywhere to indicate the blood. So yeah, I mean, it's an average graphic novel and I am interested to see where the story takes us. The second book that I read in April was The Heart of Betrayal by Mary E. Pearson. This is the second book in the Remnant Chronicles. I actually listened to this on audiobook and I've recently just acquired the physical copy, which you will see in my book haul for May, so sneak peek, there you go. But yeah, I listened to the audiobook and Emily Rankin was the main narrator of the audiobook and I think she did a fantastic job of narrating the character of Leah. I love this series so much. If you don't know what it's about, it follows the character of Leah, so I'm talking about in the Kiss of Deception book because I can't tell you what happens in the second book. But in the Kiss of Deception, Leah is set to marry the prince of another city, so their two kingdoms can unite and form an alliance. But she figures, you know what, I don't want to marry this person. I have no idea what he looks like. I've got no idea what he's like as a person. Don't want to be in an arranged marriage. I just want to be free and do what I want. So she runs away from the marriage and she runs away to this kind of little town. She becomes a tavern maid. And along the way, the prince who she was supposed to marry and an assassin come after her. We meet these two characters but we don't know which one is which when we read their perspectives. It was a really good concept. You do find out who is who about halfway through book 1 and book 2 just carries on that journey and the relationships with the characters. There is a love triangle, so if you hate love triangles, don't touch this book. But you know what, I am not a massive fan of love triangles, to be honest, but I really do enjoy this series. I gave this book a 4 out of 5, I think. I'm not 100% sure because I read it so long ago. And obviously straight after this one, I listened to the audiobook of The Beauty of Darkness. Check the size of that. It is 683 pages. It's a monster, okay? And I listened to this on audiobook and it was like 18 hours long. But you know what? Every second was fantastic. I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars. It is the last book in the trilogy, which made me very, very sad. The only thing that I would say about this book that let me down slightly was a certain character's death. I don't think it was done properly. The next two books that I read were actually for my gender, sex and culture class for university. So the first one was The Passion of New Eve by Angela Carter. This was a very, very, very strange book. It follows the character of Evelyn, and he is a very misogynistic, abusive male, so definitely trigger warnings for that. He uses women to get what he wants. He gets seduced by this character called Lila, and somehow, I don't know, I can't even remember how this happens, but somehow, oh yes, he runs away because he impregnates Lila. Well done. I can't believe I just said impregnates. He gets Lila pregnant, and he runs away. He ends up in the desert. Stuff happens basically, and there's this character called Mother, and she turns Evelyn into a woman and she becomes Eve. To be honest, it really messed with my mind. There's a lot of sexual language in here. There's a lot of rape, so trigger warnings for that. There is a lot of it. It was very, very hard to read at times, very strange. I normally love Angela Carter's writing, but I had to give this a 2 out of 5 because it was just weird, and at times I had no idea what was going on. So, and I did end up writing about this for my university assessment. God knows how I've done in that. And the second book that I had to read for university was a play called Aliana by David Mamet, and this literally took me like half an hour to read. It's like a power play, so you've got the teacher and the student, and the teacher isn't very good at using language because certain words that he says can be interpreted in very different ways, and this student ends up interpreting these words as sexual advances towards her, and she just ends up reporting him to the school board. And yeah, so it's about the journey of that. Definitely interesting when you're thinking about power between male and females. I'd never have to read this again. I gave this a 2.5 out of 5, so cool, great, don't have to ever read that again. And the next 3 books are ones that I actually read on my Kindle, well, I say on my Kindle, on the Kindle app on my phone. Oh my god, I need to just drop my phone. Wow, okay. Obviously I don't have the physical copies of them, but the first book that I read on my Kindle app was Piecing Me Together by Renee Watson, and I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. I absolutely loved it, and it follows our main character of Jade, and she has been offered a scholarship to this kind of all-white privilege school, and so she goes there, and the story follows her being a part of this woman to woman group that was set up by the school, and it's about Jade trying to kind of show people what disadvantages black people and black women have, and how hard it is for them to navigate their way through community when they're being repressed all the time by the white community. It's heartbreak. It's mostly about friendships, which is very, very good because I love reading books about friendships. There's definitely instances where racism occurs, and Jade and other characters get to call them out on that, and Jade herself calls white people in the school out on their racism, which is also very good. This was just a very poignant and moving novel, which I very much enjoyed reading. It took me a day to read, which is brilliant because I normally don't like reading on my phone. I like physical books, but I had it on my phone, so I read it on my phone, and it was absolutely brilliant. And I think I am going to buy the physical copy so I can give it a reread. So this was a very strong 5 out of 5 for me. The next book that I read on my Kindle app, I keep saying to Kindle and it's Kindle app, was Before I Let Go by Marie Nijkamp. If you recognise the name Marie Nijkamp, that's because she wrote This Is Where It Ends, which was a book about a school shooting. This time she writes about this girl. This book is full of cliches and tropes, to be honest, but I still really enjoyed it. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. But it's about this girl who lives in a small town who wants to get out, and this small town is hiding secrets. Our main character, she goes to this school that is out of this town, and she gets a phone call saying that her best friend has died. So she has to fly back to this small town where she's originally from to go to the funeral and just to find out what happened, because she just can't imagine her friend committing suicide and she doesn't think that's all there is to it. So she wants to find out these secrets, and suddenly she just feels like an outcast, and she's like, why? I was born and raised here. Why do people look down upon me all of a sudden? So she's finding out all of the town secrets and kind of unraveling the mystery. It was good, but again, you have that problematic area of using suicide as a plot point to drive the story, and for me, I don't know, it doesn't make the story awful. I just think it's a bad way to go round telling a story, but it was still an enjoyable read. Obviously, like I said, it was full of cliches and tropes, which some people don't like, some people love. 3.5 out of 5. I am glad I've read it now, to be honest, because it has been on my TBR for a very long time. And finally, the last book that I read in April was Bad Girls with Perfect Faces by Lynn Weingarten, who is the author of Suicide Notes from Beautiful Girls, I think. So Before I Let Go is a very wrong, weird, strange, messed up book that I honest to God still don't know how to rate it, because it is just weird. So basically, our main character Sasha, she loves her best friend Xavier. Suddenly Xavier gets back with his ex, who is called Ivy, and Sasha does not like that, and she wants to find dirt on Ivy, so she poses as this guy on a social network site, gets to know Ivy. They start this flirtation online relationship, I guess, and Sasha's like, haha, I've got you now, you were cheating on Xavier, blah blah blah. I mean, that in itself is really wrong, because catfishing. And also, what's with the girl on girl hate? Please stop with the girl on girl hate. It's just, yeah, Sasha has this plan to pose as this guy and to prove that Ivy isn't all she says she is and whatever, but her plan just goes very, very wrong. There's a lot of twists and turns, and it's very, very insane. There's a lot of what, oh my god moments, and yeah, I mean, it was an interesting read, don't get me wrong. It was very fast paced, it did keep me on the edge of my seat, but just the whole catfishing thing, it was very uncomfortable to read, and for that reason I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5 stars. Just a very weird book that I'm still not quite sure if 3 out of 5 is the correct rating for it. What do you guys think? Have you guys read this book? If you have, let me know what you thought of it in the comments below, because I am very interested to see what other people think about this book. But yeah, that is my kind of April wrap up. I read 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books in April, which is all good. And just a little spoiler for the May wrap up, I've hardly read anything, so that's going to be a very short video for you guys. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you've got any comments, questions or feedback, just leave them in the comments box below. And I am going to try getting back to my normal schedule of posting on Mondays, Tuesdays and Fridays, but I'm not 100% sure that that's going to go back to normal straight away, because there's still a lot of things going on in my life that are preventing me from doing that. So I don't know, we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated anyway. If you would like notification for when videos do go up, just click on the bell icon below. And that is all I have left to say. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!